but standing in Kruger Park, and John's hoping that a pride of lion they're going to walk past. That is a bit chilling.
Hello, welcome to another week of Dan's Got Change with Bright Rock and another guest who is a good friend of mine and somebody who has not just dazzled on the Dan Nicholl Show before, but is the only guest we've ever had who's done a headstand, which is a remarkable attribute for someone who's about 3 meters tall. So a very warm welcome, Derek Watts.
Dan, good to see you again, even if it's virtual. But yeah, great to see you. Sorry you couldn't make golf yesterday. I know you had important things on.
I'm partly happy that I didn't, because it meant I would have lost money to you, because as with so many other things, you do it rather effortlessly.
I wish, yeah. But you can say that with a straight face. Cheapest, Dan. No, that's one thing I'm not really proud of is my golf, but it's going to improve. I'm not a sponsored athlete like you, but yeah, I'm trying. And we've got a few tournaments coming up, so I must improve.
Well, you balance that between doing what you also do so well, which is the art of television. It's been quite a journey for Derek Watts. Is it possible to sum up how you think that journey took place, taking a sports anchor on television into South Africa's most legendary investigative journalist on TV?
Not about most legendary, Dan, but yeah, it's been a mysterious journey in many ways. And I still enjoy doing the odd sports story on Carte Blanche. I did the preview to the Lions tour and interviewed John Smith. And so I'm digressing, but I said to him, John, Mornay Steyn, I don't know, he's getting a bit old for the game, isn't he? John said, not at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he gives us the winning kick against the Lions. And I thought, geez, talk about a prophecy. Yeah, so still do the odd sports story. But yeah, so I was a writer at first. I was a sports writer in Zim. I came to South Africa, joined SABC, and eventually ended up starting Top Sport, as you know, with Martin Locke. And I was presenting Top Sport when I got a call from Bill Forer, who was a legendary filmmaker, more than an investigative journalist. He made Shaka Zulu, and he used to do the Miss Worlds, the Miss South Africas. And Dan, to be honest with you, I don't think he knew what I did. He'd seen me at the airport, and he knew that I worked at SABC. And he got my number somewhere and said, we've got this new show, which hasn't got a name yet, but would you like to present it? So I went through a series of interviews with Mnet and Ruda, and eventually, they said, great, you've got the job. And Bill came to me and said, Derek, look, would you just, in those days was tapes, Dan, a long time ago, would you mind send me a few tapes of what you do? I said, Bill, just tune in any Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, I'm live there for a couple of hours, you can just watch me. Of course, I'll do that. He's a guy who just had a feeling about things, and I think I've just had to grow or have tried to grow with the show, because when we started, it was very much a sing and dance show. I mean, we had the Bond girls on, we had stories on swimmers, and it was a very light show. It was entertainment, and then over the years, it got tougher, mainly because we were sort of co-anchored or co-broadcasting with 60 Minutes. And, still today, 60 Minutes is one of the top programs in the world for investigative journalism. And we had the best of Australian and American 60 Minutes. Can you imagine? We had our little stories on our budget. And people were saying, but why can't you be like Mike Wallace? And why can't, so we had to lift our game, Dan. And that I've just tried to keep up. And of course, there have been executive producers who've just improved the show over the years. And the latest in the line is John Webb, who's just come on board. And I think viewers will know him as a presenter. And he's a great presenter. And now he's leading the show. He's captain of the ship. And he likes stories, he likes well-told stories, a bit like Dan Nicholl. So and he's making changes already, which I think our viewers will appreciate. Not that there was anything wrong with the show. It's just that he's got a fine sort of eye for detail and how you can make things just a little bit better and push people a bit harder, like getting us to do these live feeds into the elections, which terrified us. Not that there's anything, mysterious about a live feed, but standing in Kruger Park and John's hoping that a pride of lion are going to walk past, that is a bit chilling.
You've got plenty of other things to speak about because you tell such a wide array of stories through the show each week. A lot of them are quite difficult to watch. You tell stories of corruption, and you tell stories of heartbreak, and you tell stories of great sadness. But then you also tell stories of enormous upliftment and belief and inspiration. Would you say, if you try and balance those out, you've got more or less faith in humanity as a result of the carte blanche stories you've told over the years?
Geez, Dan, you're asking some very difficult questions. I think you want a job on carte blanche. Is that right?
It's an unsolicited audition, Derek.
Dan, to answer truthfully, I think I've become more aware of how one cannot always trust people, how people can lie with a straight face. But on balance, I would say that I've met more wonderful people that give me inspiration. And I guess I've also just seen so many people. I was talking to Jackson, who brought me home from the panel beaters this morning. And we were talking a lot of politics, and a lovely man, Jackson. And we were talking about basically, freedom and democracy, and you can't buy that. But of course, we also see, I guess, that a lot of people in this country, we're talking about millions and millions, are living in squatter camps, living in RDP housing, but with literally sewage running through their houses, battling to get a meal. So I guess we also see that side of life more than a lot of people. And that makes you grateful for what you have. And I think that we can all do more to make a difference. Sounding very idealistic, but at least I think, at least my wife does a lot for charity. She's just charity driven through our daughter's foundation. I think you know that, Dan. And Dan, thank you for always being the MC at the Kirsty Watts Foundation Golf Day. Thank you. I really do appreciate that, Dan, because you've got a busy schedule. But so I don't know if that answers your question. So, probably more suspicious because the family will be doing something or doing a transaction. I'll say, but I've just done a story on, those calls you get or, that scam. So suspicious, but inspired by individuals that are amazing, and also inspired by a lot of those individuals who came from those same squatter camps and are now professors and, leading lights, in our society. But, I hope that answers your question.
I think it does, and I think
long
it also.
Answer. Long answer.
I think the difficulty in answering it is because you give us such a wonderful variety of stories, and you keep us so entertained. Sometimes they're infuriating, and other times we dance with delight in our living room.
Absolutely, Dan, and I think this last Sunday's show was just one of those examples of the good and the bad of our country, and that's what we reflect, but we always do want to show the positive, and it may not seem so at times, but we want to expose what is bad, but we want to praise the people who are really doing a good job. And like recently, we had a program which was praising the police for their wonderful work. So I think you've got to show your appreciation as well, and I hope we keep a balance there, Dan. And I think with John Webb, we're going to.
Derek, thank you so much.
Really always good to chat.
And it feels like we see each other once a week anyway, as I sit happily on a Sunday night. And I know it feels like that for most of South Africa. So much appreciated.
Great, Dan, and see you soon.
So there we go. As iconic a figure as we have in South African television, a good friend of mine, a good friend of the Dan Nicholl shows, and a man who's led a quite extraordinary life, Mr. Derek Watts.